I was thinking today, meditating on the Lord, pontificating on His greatness. And I was talking to Him about the most evident way of explaining to people the reality of God and who is God. And we have to understand that there is a God. But that's simple. We talked about this before, the science itself. I did a message about the death of atheism. Look it up. There has to be a creator. There is a creation, and creation defies the very laws by which it stands. It could not have been created naturally, but only by a supernatural creator. And by the very definition of a supernatural creator who is not from nature, what do we know about him? If you want to know which God is the real God, that's quite simple too. First off, the universe is the creation, and the creator cannot be from within the creation. Therefore, he must exist outside of space, outside of time, because time is a dimension of creation. And naturally, he has to be immaterial, because, well, the universe is physical. And if he created the physics, then he cannot be a material God. And that, right off the bat, throws off all of those man-made gods, all of the statues and images, all of the mythology, gods crafted by man in the image of man, those 30 million deities of India. None of those things could be God. And that really brings it to a much smaller list if you want to know who is the creator, which God. Well, today, there's not much question about it. It's really the Judeo-Christian God and the Muslim God. But if you went back a few thousand years, you would have the Zoroastrian God, and you have the Assyrian God, and you have 20,000 other gods. So you would say, well, which God is the real God? Well, you can answer your own question. Those gods do not even exist anymore. Do you see anyone believing in Zoroastrian gods? No. It's dead. And if it's dead, then naturally that so-called God no longer exists. Now one might say, well, how do you know that the Creator still exists? How do you know that he did not die himself? That's quite easy to answer as well. First off, the universe he created is alive. And if he created it, and he is immaterial, and he exists outside of space and outside of time, then he cannot decay, because decay is a process that happens with time. If you pause this video, you're not gonna hear me age. I will remain exactly the way I was when you paused. Static things don't age, they do not decay. So if the Creator indeed is the Creator, he does not decay, nor can he die. Only material things die, and things that do not exist. Because truth has to be stagnant, it has to stand. Truth cannot decay. Truth is not subject to time. Again, decay is a process that has to do with time. You could say yesterday's truth is no longer truth today. Yeah, but that's not the truth. That's subjective truth. Principles of truth stand forever. They are irrelevant to opinions. They are independent from circumstances. The laws of physics operate whether you accept them or not. Mathematics do not change with every passing hour, which is why you have science, and that by itself is evidence of God, because it is steady. It is permanent. It is fixed. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but the word of the Creator stands forever. The material is under the gravity of time, which is why it decays. The earth decays, the stars decay, energy decays. We call that entropy in science. We decay. But the spiritual, that which exists outside of time, space, and matter, does not decay, which means that those former gods who no longer exist cannot be the Creator, or else they would still exist today, which sums it up to who does exist, who was, is, and is to come. There's only one of those. Now you could debate whether the Jewish, Christian, or Muslim God, but let's start with Islam, because Islam is so easy to debunk. Because Islam doesn't really stand on anything. They're leeching off the God of Israel and putting a spin-off on him, turning him into someone else that he is not. And if you truly believe in Allah, which they say Allah's word cannot be changed or modified, well, and if you say Allah is the God of Abraham, then surely the Torah is the word of Allah and it cannot be modified, which means that he still is the God of Israel and he never forsook his people. And he said, my people will be restored to their land and I will be their God and they will be my people forever. So Islam is fake. So throw Allah out the window. And then you can talk about Judaism and Christianity. And between the two of them, well, they say they worship the same God, but this God identified himself as a God of a specific people. He said, I am the God of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, the God of Israel. He didn't say I'm a Jewish God. He didn't say I'm a Christian God. He said he made the heavens and the earth. He said he is the first and the last. He said there is none other. He said there was none before me, nor there will be any after me. He claimed the credit for creation. Every time there's some sort of a terror act, we're always waiting to see who claims responsibility. Hezbollah took responsibility for this. They're taking the claim. Well, the Lord took the claim and nobody can refute him. He said it himself. He challenges. He's like, who can stand before me? Who can refute me? Who can call me to account? Well, where is he? Is there any other? This is what the God of Israel says. And so far, nobody calls him to account. Nobody can stand before him. Nobody refutes him. His word is eternal. His prophets are true. His prophecies are being fulfilled, were fulfilled, and will fulfill. His people are alive. His name is lifted up, glorified, known throughout the earth. Now, Christianity is interesting because that too is an amalgamation, a spin-off, a pagan frosting, make sure you understand what I'm saying, over a Israelite cake. It's not a Jewish religion, it's from Israel, it's a people. Christianity is the paganization of that faith. They say they believe the God in Israel, but they don't want to do what he says. So they put a little pagan spin on it, adding all kind of things to it. Even though the Lord said, do not add, do not subtract to what I tell you. Do exactly what I commanded you to do. But the Christians do, so they worship on Sunday instead of Shabbat, and they got statues and images, they eat unclean foods, they do all kind of things. But they still claim to give glory to the same God. They do not debunk the God of Israel or his Mashiach, his anointed one. So, for the most part, the Lord does give grace to those who actually love him and acknowledge him. He will deal with the rest of it later and judge each man according to his own deeds. But for the sake of our debate here, how do you know which God is God? Well, there's only one option. The Lord, Adonai, Yod Hei Vav Hei, the one who was, is, and is to come. That's his name. Haya, Hoveh, Ihiyeh. I am that I am. Eheyeh, Asher Eheyeh. He is the maker. He is the one that gave us life. He is from everlasting to everlasting, outside of time, outside of space, outside of matter. He does not decay, he does not change, and he is the only one. And it's real simple to understand if you just use your God-given brain and apply logic and reason without emotion and hatred. The reason most people don't get it is because of rebellion, not because of science. It's not because of evolution or dinosaurs walking on Earth 65 million years ago and all that stupid mess. Like I said, science is evidence of God. And reality is evidence of the God of Israel. There is only one God, and he is it. So serve him, acknowledge him, and give him the glory. Hallelujah.